Hello, I am Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star. I am on Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts absolutely overwhelmed a bad Raiders team today, 40-6. There's going to be a lot of talk now with this Colts 4-1 start about how they've beaten up on a lot of bad teams. And admittedly, this is a schedule that's been pretty forgiving early on. On the flip side, this is a team that struggled last year against bad teams down the stretch. Barely beat the Patriots, barely beat the Jets, lost to a terrible Giants team when they still had playoff hopes going on. So I think the fact that they keep blowing out these teams, the way they've dominated Miami and Tennessee and now today is a sign that this team has taken a step forward, that they've played close in the two games they played against good teams. This team has taken a step forward, and they're playing really good football. And the other thing is, when a team starts building momentum like this, it's often hard for them to lose it. 23 of the 25 teams that have started 4-1 since the playoffs expanded to 14 teams have made the playoffs. The Colts are at 4-1 right now and rolling as they head into a meatier part of their schedule. For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson.
Blast. To get a win like that at home is always a good feeling, especially with your guys. So, can't complain about it at all.
What do you learn about your team coming off of a loss and then having a performance like this?
Resilient, man. Come out every week to fight. Flushed last week down the drain, get ready for the next week. Handle our business, we did.
We knew your role was probably going to be increased a little bit this week. What did you like from your performance out there?
Just staying true to myself, trusting my work ethic, trusting my coaches, put me in the right position to be successful, and that's what we did.
How much balance is this offense right now? What are you seeing from guys like Daniel Jones, and obviously JT is doing his thing too?
We're dangerous. Anybody can have a day, whether it's tight end, receivers, running backs, DBs, whatever. But our offense is so overpowered. We can just get the ball to anybody. We'll go work.
A lot of close wins last year. This year, dominant victories. What's so different between this group this year versus last year?
We're just focused, locked in on our job, knowing our assignments, knowing our keys and stuff like that. So I think everybody kind of has the same chemistry, bought into each other, and we all got each other's back. So that's the biggest part about it.
When did you learn that your role was going to be maybe on offense is going to be increased, and does your preparation change depending on whether you're playing more special teams or on offense?
Week in and week out, I'm always preparing as a starter. For me, it's knowing that staying ready is not going to get ready. When it comes down to it, I'm always watching the film and everything needs to be watched. Special teams, offense, so if my number gets called, I'm going to be ready.
And did you have any words with A.D. Mitchell, encouragement or anything like that? Obviously, you stepped in and kind of filled in his spot today.
Of course. Eddie's our guy. We trust him. We love him. When he's ready, his number's called. We know he'll be ready at all times. So just for me, it's being that vet for him, that bigger brother, let him know that we still got your back regardless.
And we just were focusing on our scheme, and we thought that there was completions out there, being that they run lots of zone, and we just had to stay on track and not get penalties. Credit to them, they have some really good players, but we felt like we could take advantage of those spots.
You were one of 4 guys to score a touchdown today. Offensively, just what was working so well?
JT, that guy always works, and then we find ways to fit in around that. So Tyler scored his first receiving touchdown, so that was great. I thought his celly was great. The offensive line played great. Danny played his butt off, and I feel like that is just the result of that.
3 touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor, the 4th time in his career he's been able to do that. How do you describe the level at which that he's playing? Because you've been witness to all of it.
Honestly, it doesn't even impress me anymore. I just kind of expect that kind of stuff from him. So he's gonna have to score like 5 from now on. So, yeah.
What does it say about a guy like Amir Abdullah who steps in, scores, productive the way that he was?
Yeah, just for him to come in on short notice. I believe he's been with us for 2 or 3 weeks, and to come in and score and make plays. That just shows that he prepares the right way, and that's why he's still playing.
The level that Daniel Jones is playing right now, what has he brought to this franchise?
It's evident to see. We look like a completely different team. It's just things just go right now. You know what I'm saying? We're in the past, maybe we felt like things always went wrong. Now we feel like things are always just going right. So we just got to keep it going, and we got to work hard and just support him in any way that we can.
On the other side of the ball, this defense did not allow a touchdown, incredibly effective in the red zone. What type of position did your defense put you guys in, especially when they were able to take the ball?
Absolutely. With their style of offense that they came out and ran today, they were trying to chew up clock, and just them being able to get takeaways and just giving us that ball back allowed us to separate, and then they had to pass it to like catch up, and then that's when the game kind of slows down a little bit and we have more time.
A lot of one-score games a year ago, and this year it feels like beating teams and beating them handily. What's to say about the preparation of this team?
Yeah, I mean, we're just executing, and in the past to where we had a bunch of mistakes that weren't allowing us to do this, and like we've cleaned it up tremendously, and Shane puts. And Shane like always gives us a great game plan, and really like our offensive line has been stars. I mean nobody talks about them, but without them nothing else is possible. So just credit to them this year.
Receiving touchdown, you were one of 4 guys to score a touchdown today. How do you describe just the offensive production and how dominant this offense was?
Yeah, I think especially spreading the ball around the way we did, and JT I think had 3. Dulin had a lot of good plays, so I think it's just a lot of weapons, and being able to use them all is awesome.
What does it say about Daniel Jones that he's able to spread the ball around and get that many guys involved in this offense, especially in a day when you were down guys like Alec Pierce?
I think it speaks to him as a quarterback being able to spread around, but also just kind of the trust he's built with everybody and all the different positions and players that we got. So it's been awesome to see.
Can you speak to the level this offensive line is playing at right now?
Yeah, I think we knew they had good edge threats, and did we have a sack today?
No sacks
Yeah,
today.
so that's a shout out to them. Tight ends as well. We played a little bit of a role in that, but especially up front to keep this team to no sacks was awesome.
You guys scored on 6 straight offensive possessions, I should say. What indication is that of the level that Daniel Jones is playing right now?
Yeah, I think it kind of speaks to the whole offense, right? Being efficient and staying on schedule so we don't, get into predictable downs. I think is a big part of it. And also the defense gave us, great field position on some turnovers. So I think it was a whole team thing to be able to be efficient like that.
Efficiency in the red zone as well. What were the things you saw this week that indicated it could be this type of game for your offense?
Yeah, I think it's more just focusing on us and understanding that when we're executing and doing our jobs that we can be like that. So I think it comes down to us doing our jobs and knowing the type of offense we can be.
Tyler, you may have been asked this already, but first receiving touchdown of your NFL career. How cool is that for you?
It was awesome, to get the game going, and I think it was Dulin who ran the corner off on the outside and kind of opened up the area for me. But yeah, it was fun.
How much did Ashton Dulin make an impact on this offense today?
Yeah, I think he did a great job. He had some big plays, and he's a good blocker as well when he gets called to block. He's also a great special teams player. So I think the impact he had on the game today was very big.
Jonathan Taylor, 3 rushing touchdowns. Does he ever cease to amaze you what he's doing out there?
No, I mean he gets to run, behind a great O-line, and then when you give a running back like him a really good O-line, it's gonna be fun to watch. So it's fun to block for him and watch him play.
You had a big block for him on that 2-point conversion too, right? Tell me about your position, your vantage point there, and the insistence on getting a 2-point conversion when you knew you didn't have Spencer Schrader available.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a weird situation having to go for 2 all those times, but like I said earlier, it kind of just comes down to executing and knowing your job from play to play, whether it is 2-point or whatever the situation is.
It's a great team win. Offensively, defensively, special teams. Shout out to Shea popping it up with the block. That was a great John. He helped change the game. But yeah, last night, talked to the defense, just challenged us to, let this be our best effort. I knew, Bowers wasn't playing, and obviously they had some things they were working through on the other side. But, I felt like tonight was all about us. Could we respond to, the game we had against the Rams? Could we go out there and try to put our best effort on tape? And I think we had a good chance at that today. Obviously, we got some stuff we need to clean up, but was proud of the effort we put out today defensively.
How did Shea set the tone with that block early?
Man, I've been there. I understand. When you gotta, we gave up a little drive, 3-and-out first drive, which was rare. It was the first time in the season. Gave up 3 points on the back end, and then, for Shea to just follow up with that block, that was a monster play. When special teams makes a play like that, obviously you got a great chance to put yourself in a situation to win. Offense followed it up with a touchdown. That's complimentary ball, something that we've been really good at so far this year.
Saw you hit the Shaq Selly after the sack.
Yeah.
Had to, right?
Yeah, look, first of all, I'm the only one on the team that can hit that. Shout out to Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So, yeah, can't nobody else hit that. Fans can't, please don't throw the hooks up. Man, just definitely had to make a play. My boy was in town. He was in the building, so I had to make a play. And I knew when I did it, I was definitely going to give him an honor to him. He's a legend. I'm glad he got the flowers that he deserves.
What did you see over the course of this week in response to that performance in LA that indicated this type of day was possible?
Honestly, I just felt like, respectfully, I felt like we gave LA too much credit. I think after we played LA, we realized that we that team. We the team that's the test for everybody else, and everybody else needs to start responding to how we play. So today was just another opportunity for us to put that on tape. Like I said, we got stuff that we need to clean up on all three phases. Devastated about Spence going down. Devastated. That was a nasty play. I ain't gonna do that, but that was a nasty play. But we got some stuff we need to work on. We got to get better, but definitely happy that we came out with the win.
Last year, a lot of one-score games, and we see a lot of one-score games in this league. Shane's talked about it a lot, but to beat teams consistently this season by a lot, what's it say about the preparation, just the connectedness of this team?
Man, honestly, I give the credit to Shane. I think since the spring, he's just preached about focusing on ourselves, playing to our standard, and just continue to push ourselves every single day. And I think that's what shows up on film. I think regardless of the level of the competition that we play in, I think we play to a certain standard. And it's either you're going to get to that standard or you're going to get ran off the field. So,
take us through that series where you have the penalty and then you get the sack right away. What does that do for you to wipe out a negative play so quickly?
Well, to be honest with you, so we were doubling the tight end, and Cam jammed him. I just gave him a bump. I guess I was being too physical, so unfortunately for him. But, I think, like I said, we take every play one at a time. I got to take my own advice. One of the young guys on the team, when they give up a tough play, all I tell them, look, next play, the ball's coming back to you. Be ready for your next opportunity. So I had to take my own advice, and, thankfully I was able to help and make a play that the team could win. So, like I said, we got some stuff to clean up. I got some stuff to clean up myself. But, overall, a great performance today by the defense.
Complimentary football. As simple as it is. Defense doing their job, offense doing their job, special teams doing their job. And we saw that today. All right, fam. Even though they got called back, just the momentum and just the excitement of taking that kick back, then getting the block punt on special teams specifically, and offense scoring touchdowns the way they did every time they got to the red zone. So it was just cool to see the defense not giving up a touchdown. This is one of those games that we wanted to come out and really get that feeling from last week off of our chest.
When you've been on good teams before and maybe gone through a loss and you
Yeah.
come back and win like this, what does that say about just a team's ability to bounce back?
Just the ability to not take a loss too hard and don't let it. The coach said it really well in the beginning of the week. Don't let one loss beat you twice. And I think that was really the whole tell of this week. Of all right, after that Monday meeting when we rewatched the film from last week, that game was scratched and we were completely on to the Raiders. And after tomorrow, this game is completely scratched. And Tuesday, Wednesday, and on, it's all on to Arizona. So there really is no holding on to a loss because you can't let that affect you moving forward.
It's definitely been a while since we had a dominant day like this, but that's what you work for in training camp. And then when the season comes, every single day, each and every single week, trying to build that chemistry together in order to have wins like this.
I believe this was the fourth time for you having a 3-touchdown performance. Just all around, what was working so effectively in the run game for you guys?
Really just staying patient, staying committed, allowing those guys up front to do their job. They're the best in the league at this, so allowing them to push, fight, scratch, and claw, and then just make them right. Just make sure that we were trying to be as efficient as possible because they do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Certainly the O-line doing the heavy lifting. Tyler Warren doing that as well. I know he had a key block on that 2-point conversion. How do you describe the impact that the rookie has had? Got his first receiving touchdown today.
That was really nice watching him get his first receiving touchdown, but him just being really versatile. That's how you create a lot of value in this league is by saying, hey, not only can I run, I can block, I can catch, I can pass. Whatever it is, you create value in this league, and I think that he's done a great job at that, and he's going to continue to get better.
No sacks allowed by this offensive line as well. In addition to that, how does Daniel Jones just continue putting this offense in positions to be successful, especially with how productive you were in the right zone?
I just think the preparation throughout the week, he knows the looks. He's going through the cadence. He can see the defense. So knowing, let me make sure we're in the best position possible in order to be successful versus whatever look we get. And I'm sure you guys have heard throughout the weeks. He puts a lot of time in making sure he knows every single look. Whatever they may throw at him, he's ready for it.
Kid said it's becoming pretty common to see you have these type of days. I know it was his birthday today. Was he clamoring to make sure he got a TV ball today? I want to make sure that he scored.
Definitely. We always want to make sure we get the win, and we always want someone, if it's a game during their birthday, you want them to have a great day as well. So I think it's a great birthday gift for Pitt. He almost had, I just heard this, I think if you have a touchdown and the 2-point conversion is called an octopus. I don't know. I heard, that's what I heard. So he almost had an octopus today. I would love for him to have had an octopus today.
How do you describe the dynamic of this locker room sitting at 4-1 for the first month of the season?
I just think we know it takes all of us. The offense playing with the defense, special teams making plays as well. I mean, when you have a team that plays complementary football, you get these type of days. And the only thing is, it's about stacking those days week in and week out.
What do you say about the performance of this offensive line today?
I think they've done a great job, but the thing is, you got to continue to get better, and they find ways each and every single week to get better from the previous week. Whether they got a look or they see how defenses are attacking us, so they work that next week in practice to ensure if they see that again, they're ready for it.
You have a versatile running style. They kind of are able to be versatile, and they're able to kick outside and block. They're able to play down and block. Just how well have you meshed together?
Most of the guys up front, been here for a few years, so being able to just have that communication, having that chemistry together, and knowing at the end of the day, no matter what look we get, you trust those guys up front. A lot of it is built off of trust. So as long as we know we're all on the same page with the blocking scheme and whatever we're running, should have good days.
3 touchdowns.
In the run game, the explosive runs are great, but how much patience does a game like that require where they stop you early and you got to chip away, little by little? Does that require a lot of patience, and did you guys show that?
It does require a lot of patience, and you got to kind of take what the defense gives you. But when they make a mistake, you got to make them pay. And I think we did that today. And of course, you look back and you're like, "Hey, we actually had a pretty good day." But always you want those explosive. But sometimes you just got to chip away at it.
Mike Hilton's got a shoulder, Schrader has a knee, and Grover has a bicep. Overall, the game, I thought it was great complementary football, back and forth, all 3 phases. Shaggy getting the punt block there was huge, getting the takeaways by Mackay. Latu, obviously Grover getting the tip there was huge, and then scoring, 6 times, 6 drives, 6 touchdowns by the offense. It was just great to see. I think everyone got involved. Like I said, complementary football all the way around, so it was a good game.
Do you have any updates on Spencer yet?
I don't right now. I don't. It doesn't look good, but I don't have the full update.
Did you ever consider letting Regal kick even extra points just to?
Yeah, a little bit, but I felt good about the offense, just trying to go for 2, and you know what I mean, going down there, and obviously we would have had some moving parts there. I got a ton of faith in Rigo kicking those balls, but just the holds and who would be the snapper, and there's a lot of moving parts there.
I know it doesn't matter, but what are the moving parts? Who would be snapping?
It would have been Ogletree, and Luke would have been the holder. Yeah.
The efficiency of your offense, I think, is kind of notable. I mean, you had decent yardage today, but converting, you're taking advantage of opportunities. Why so efficient?
I think it starts up front, and the quarterback's doing a hell of a job. 3rd downs were efficient. I think 8 for 10. We're moving the ball. We're completing passes at a high clip. I don't know. He's completing 73% of his passes every week, and so when you're doing that, you're going to be pretty efficient on offense, and he's continuing to do that for us.
What did you guys do with Tyler keeps getting called for an OPI, but it doesn't look. It looks kind of narrow. What can you guys do?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. We'll work through it, and we'll look at the tape.
Shane, you see him every day, but what is your appreciation for Ashton Dulin?
He's as gritty as they come. He's as tough as they come, and he does anything that's asked, and he understands his role. I go over roles and opportunities to start the season, and I go through every player, and I say, "Yeah, you're our special teams ace, and you're going to go cover kicks. And when you get your opportunity on offense, go make the most of it." And today, obviously, he got a hell of an opportunity and played a ton on offense and made some big-time plays, caught a big in-cut there, and then obviously there in the 4th quarter, threw the go ball to him, went up and made a hell of a play. So hats off to him. Just a tremendous worker is what he is.
Talking about resiliency and bouncing back, coming back from last week and winning this week by 34 points, just what does that say about this team?
Yeah, I think the guys, like I said, last week was last week, and that's the National Football League. You don't ever want it to happen. But it's next day mentality. It's one day at a time. Enjoy the process of getting better every day and growing as individuals. And our guys were locked in all week. I thought we had a hell of a week of practice. And to see it come to fruition, here on Sunday, just hats off to all the guys and all the coaches.
The offensive balance you guys have sounds kind of boring, but you shut down the run early. You guys how does that balance make you dangerous?
I think when you can do both really well when the game's on the line, I think that's critical. And, I just think the guys are playing at a high level right now. They're playing together. the communication piece is huge. There's so many details that go into it throughout the week, and the side conversations that take place with the quarterback and the center and the receivers and the meetings, the extra meetings that they have, going through every little detail of every possible look we could get. Stuff comes up on, game day, and those guys are all prepared and ready for it. And I think it's just great back and forth, with those guys, but also just the camaraderie of our guys right now. Obviously we're in week 5 going into week 6, but been very pleased, but we got to do it, again and again every week.
We saw Ashton Dulin play a lot today.
Yeah.
Went over the game with Doug on offense, and 80 minutes with them playing until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, just I told like I said, told you guys, 80's got to earn it, and so that was a situation where Dulin was going to start at X and play most of the game, and if we needed 80 in a situation, we would have to use them, and we played him there at the end.
JT, 3 touchdowns today.
Yeah.
I think that's the 4th time in his career he's had 3 total touchdowns, and 2 of them happened this year.
Yeah.
For a 6-year vet. So, what level is he coming at? What does it feel like this entire life?
Extremely high. I mean, I think he's playing best back in the league right now. Credit to him, credit to the O-line. That first one, obviously Q pulling around there, and then the other one we scored down in there tight. We had a little pulling center on with Bort, and Bort opened up the hole right there. It was a great job by the O-line, and he stretched and cut that thing back up in there. So it's everybody. It's everybody. It starts up front with those guys, but he's just seeing it well. He's running, hard, patient, great vision, great burst, and he hits the home runs.
Talk about this group of go ahead, Bob.
Okay. What do you make of the work of the offensive line? The Raiders have gone 39 straight games with a sack, and then you have
Yeah, I mean, our thing going into this game, which I'm sure every opponent that plays the Raiders, is stop 98. He's one of the best in the league right now, and so going in the game, we were trying to get 4 hands on him as much as possible, not run at him. If we did run at him, make sure we got 4 hands on him there, because we know he's a huge problem, and it's a credit to our guys, going out and executing the game plan.
How important is it with this offensive line to have the versatility where you can get guys out in space, but you can also kind of run downhill with them?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question. I think we got so many guys that are multiple, that have different roles, that have different skill sets, and so we try to play to their strengths each and every week, and obviously depending on who we're playing with the defensive scheme and what they're doing, trying to put our guys in advantageous looks, week in and week out, and buy down in distance and what they're doing, and then our guys going out and executing. So hats off to those guys. Again, I think today, too, I just want to mention, our defense giving up 6 points is huge. I thought those guys played incredible. They're flying around, making plays. It was fun to watch.
Shane, a couple more.
It's not often in the NFL that a head coach gets to save the first team. You can take the rest in the fourth quarter. Is that a satisfying moment for a head coach?
Yeah, it's kind of awkward, to be honest, because this league, every game comes down to 1 scores a lot. But it's nice for those guys to get a quarter off and rest their bodies going into next week. But it's a credit to those guys executing early and often to get that done.
Last year, you all had 8 wins, but they were all about 1 possession.
Yeah.
This year, you have 3 dollars. What's different when you think about it?
Well, I think all things take time. You know what I mean? I think as you're building a program, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. And I think, we got some new faces in here. I think Chris has done a hell of a job with that. Daniel's playing at a high level, and guys are just believing in each other and believing in the process of what we're doing. And, it's been really good.
All right.
I've been showered, but about the fourth quarter started. What is it? We just asked Shane, how satisfying is it, frankly, to get almost a quarter off because you did your job?
Yeah, I mean, it's good feeling. Yeah, good feeling. I think executed well, with the exception of that first drive. We a little bit of a slow start, but executed well. Took advantage of some opportunities. I'm sure Shane talked about just the complementary football, and you get a punt blocked, and then in the third quarter we had an interception, put us at the 5-yard line, and then converted those opportunities. So I thought it was a great team effort.
You guys have 3 of these dominant wins now. I think every time you guys are kind of brought in like the one drive, you guys didn't punch again. Is that something you just kind of think of as important before you guys need to go?
Yeah, I think obviously the result's important, and the result's the most important. Winning, we're judged by winning games, and so that's the goal. But I think there's also got to be an emphasis on the process and all the plays that lead up to that, and when they weren't executed well, or something happened to get you off track, that you address that and try to correct that moving forward. I think that's how we're going to be the best football team we can be. So obviously we're happy with the result, but there's a process to it, and we got to continue to attack that, to grow and see where we've come up short.
What do you feel like you were able to tap into in the red zone today?
Well, I think we ran the ball really well. It was a huge thing for us. I thought we had a really good plan down there in the run game, and then we executed it well. JT did a really good job. The guys up front did a good job, and then a couple opportunities we had in the pass game and converted on those. So I think that was most of it. I think it starts with the run, and a lot of credit to the guys up front.
Can you take us through the touchdown pass and kind of scramble to the right? I don't know if they're drawn up like that, but obviously they were.
Yeah, they brought a pressure there, so I knew I had to get it out. If I didn't get it out, I had to move, so I moved. And Pitt did a really good job on the scramble drill. Great catch there. Haven't seen the replay, but looked like he made an incredible effort to get his feet in and make the catch. So, big-time play.
And you said you've been there in April. Your appreciation for a guy like Ashton Dulin, special teams guy, but today he's called on to be more. How have you seen him?
Yeah, I think he's just a really good football player, kind of in all aspects of the game. Obviously, he's one of the best guys in the league in the special teams game and all the things he does there. And then, as a receiver, he's been incredible. In camp, I played a lot with him, rotating in there, and he's just a really, really good football player. He's always going to be in the right spot, makes a tough catch. He's got tremendous speed and strength. That last catch, you saw him go up and make a really tough contested play, but just a really good football player, smart, always going to be in the right spot, tough, makes a play.
During this season, when you guys get practicing, you don't get much work with him, do you? Because of the other receivers, or does he get work for once?
No, he rotates in there, and this week he got a good bit of work, so feel really good and feel really good about the chemistry with him, and he does a really good job when he's not in there, making sure he's getting the rep, understanding what he needs to do, and understanding the game plan.
How difficult do you think it is for defenses to decide how to attack you guys, the run and the pass, this whole effective, and just how difficult a choice do you think that is for you?
Yeah, I think it makes it tough when you can do both, for sure. I think JT's playing at an unbelievable level. Guys up front are playing at an unbelievable level. So, the run, and we've had a number of explosive runs, particularly in the second half, and that's a huge threat to the defense. And then, being efficient in the pass game, creating explosive plays when we have them. And I thought today, style of defense we're playing, there's a lot of underneath stuff and guys making someone miss and getting upfield. Josh had a number of plays I felt like where he caught it underneath, made a guy miss, and found 5 or 6 extra yards.
Can you grade Tyler Warren's pass? And also, did you ever tell Shane, all right, enough of that?
I didn't see Tyler's pass. Looked like he covered up pretty good, but I like the play. I like the play call and see if we can get one there. I think stuff like that, it works or it doesn't, but it's all, play second down and get ready to go.
Do you think you should be the intended receiver instead of Pitt?
I do have a catch. I caught a ball a few years ago. But no, Pitt's the professional pass catcher.
Doesn't Tyler Warren, he's got to deal with you guys the creativity to do a lot of things. What's the value of having a guy that can do 5, 6, 7 things?
Yeah, I think it's huge. We've used him on short yardage with some run stuff. I think obviously just like in the drop back game and then quick game, moving the pocket, there's so many elements of his game that you can kind of bring into play depending on the situation. So it does a lot for us.
Daniel, obviously winning breeds confidence, but when you've had 3 dominating wins like you guys have had, how does that affect the locker room and the team?
Yeah, I think it gives us a lot of confidence. I think it's a huge testament to our guys, to everybody, to the locker room, the coaches, and having a strong first half and getting out to a big lead, and then Coming out in the second half, there's no let up. Guys are still hungry and ready to go. Defense, jumped on them, and then offensively to convert. I think that says a lot about the maturity of our football team.
Where did you see the biggest improvement on the margins this week compared to last week?
I think just cleaner execution. I thought we did a better job on third down, did a better job in the red zone, did a better job protecting the ball. I mean, I think all those things are really important when you look at wins and losses. But, I thought we were just sharper executing.